Captain Jinha stood on the bridge of the Resolute Dawn and looked out at the stars. After 37 years of life, he had never seen anything so beautiful. The black space around them was filled with points of light that seemed to dance in the darkness. We did it, he whispered to himself. We actually did it. Behind him, his crew worked at their stations. They had been traveling for 6 months now, moving faster than light toward a place no human had ever been before. Earth was far behind them. Ahead lay the unknown. "Captain," called Harin from her science station. She was young, only 25, but one of the smartest people Jinha had ever met. "I'm picking up something on the long-range sensors." Jinha walked over to her station. The screen showed dots of light moving in formation. "What are they?" "Ships," Harin said, her voice excited. "Big ones, at least 20 of them. They're moving in a perfect pattern, like they're on patrol." Commander Quan looked up from his tactical station. He was Jinha's best friend and had been with him since their days in the Earth Navy. "Could be our first contact, Captain." "This is what we came for," Jinha nodded. For 300 years, Earth had dreamed of this moment. They had built radio telescopes and sent messages into space, hoping someone would answer. They had looked at the stars and wondered if they were alone. Now they knew they were not alone. "Harin, what do you know about these ships?" Jinha asked. Harin's fingers moved quickly over her controls. "They're huge, Captain. Each one is at least 3 times bigger than us. The energy readings are incredible. These people have technology we can only dream of." "Are they heading toward us?" "No, sir. They seem to be patrolling this area. We're still too far away for them to see us." Jinha felt his heart beating faster. This was it. This was the moment that would change everything for humanity. Earth had spent so long preparing for this day. They had practiced what to say, how to act, how to show that humans were peaceful and ready to join the galaxy. "Open a channel," Jinha ordered. "All frequencies." Quan worked at his station. "Channel open, Captain." Jinha took a deep breath. "This is Captain Jinha of the Earthship Resolute Dawn. We come in peace from the planet Earth. We request permission to talk with your leaders. We wish to join the galactic community as friends." They waited. The bridge was silent except for the soft hum of the ship's engines. Jinha could hear his own heartbeat. "Still no response," Quan said after a minute. "Try again," Jinha ordered. "Maybe they didn't hear us." Harin looked at her sensors. "Captain, they're changing course. They're coming toward us." Jinha smiled. "Good, that means they heard us." But Harin's face looked worried. "Sir, they're coming fast. Very fast." On the main screen, the dots of light were getting bigger. Soon they could see the ships themselves. They were beautiful and terrible at the same time. Their hulls were silver and gold, with designs that looked like works of art, but they were also covered in weapons. "Incoming message," Quan announced. "Put it on screen," Jinha ordered. The screen flickered, and suddenly they were looking at an alien face. The creature had blue skin and 6 eyes. When it spoke, its voice was cold and full of disgust. "Primitive ship, you are in restricted space. You will surrender immediately or be destroyed." Jinha stepped forward. "We are peaceful explorers from Earth. We mean no harm. We only want to talk." The alien laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. "Earth? We have no record of any Earth. You are probably pirates using stolen technology." "Very poor stolen technology." "We're not pirates," Jinha said, trying to stay calm. "We're representatives of the human race. We've traveled far to meet you." "Humans?" The alien's 6 eyes blinked. "Oh, wait. I remember now. Earth? Yes, we have old records. A primitive world in the outer rim. We marked you as too young to matter." "About 3,000 years ago," Harin gasped. 3,000 years? But we've only had radio for 200 years. The alien on the screen spoke to someone they couldn't see. "Admiral Veltar, it appears we have encountered one of those primitive species. They seem to have stolen faster-than-light technology from someone," another voice answered, deeper and more dangerous. "Amusing. It has been a long time since we've seen primitives playing with adult toys." Jinha felt anger rising in his chest, but he forced himself to stay calm. We didn't steal anything. We built our ship ourselves. We've developed our own technology. Impossible, the alien said. Primitives like you don't develop faster than light travel. You must have found wreckage from a real civilization. We are a real civilization, Jinha said, his voice getting harder. We've been to our moon. We've explored our solar system. We've built cities and cured diseases and created art and music and enough. The alien's voice was sharp. You bore us with your lies. Admiral Veltar, what should we do with them? The deep voice answered, let's teach them why children shouldn't play with dangerous toys. It will be good target practice for the new recruits. Jinha felt his blood turn to ice. Wait, we're peaceful. We're not a threat to anyone. Of course you're not a threat, the alien said, smiling with too many teeth. You're primitives. But you're also trespassing in our space with stolen technology. The penalty for that is death. You can't just kill us. Quan shouted. We haven't done anything wrong. You exist, the alien said simply. That's enough. The screen went black. Harin looked at her sensors, her face pale. Captain, they're powering up weapons. All 20 ships. Jinha stared at the screen. All. His life, he had dreamed of this moment. Earth had prepared for first contact for generations. They had imagined meeting wise aliens who would welcome humanity into the stars. They had practiced speeches about peace and cooperation. They had never imagined this. Captain? Quan's voice was steady, but Jinha could hear the fear underneath. What are your orders? Jinha looked around his bridge. His crew was watching him, waiting for him to tell them what to do. These people had trusted him to lead them to the stars. Now he had to decide how they would die. But then he thought about Earth. He thought about his wife and children, waiting for him to come home. He thought about the billions of humans who had no idea what was happening out here in the darkness. Battle stations, Jinha said quietly. Sir? Harin looked confused. We're an exploration ship. We don't have real weapons. Then we'll make some, Jinha said, his voice growing stronger. If they want to fight, we'll give them one they'll never forget. The alien ships were almost in range now. Their weapons were charging, ready to turn the Resolute Dawn into space dust. Jinha looked at his crew one more time. For Earth, he said. For Earth, they answered. The battle was about to begin. The first blast hit the Resolute Dawn like a hammer. The whole ship shook and sparks flew from broken control panels. Jinha was thrown to the floor, but he got back up quickly. Damage report, he shouted over the noise of alarms. Shields down to 60%. Harin called back. Her station was smoking, but she kept working. Hull damage on decks 4 and 5. They're toying with us, Quan said, his hands moving over his controls. That was just a warning shot. Jinha climbed back into his captain's chair. Through the main screen, he could see the alien ships moving closer. They were beautiful and deadly, like metal sharks swimming through space. What weapons do we have? Jinha asked. Cutting lasers for asteroid mining, Quan said. Some missile probes. That's about it. And they have enough firepower to destroy a planet, Harin added. This is impossible, Captain. We can't fight them, Jinha looked at his crew. They were scared, but they were still at their stations. They were still trying. That's what humans did. They kept trying even when it was hopeless. Harin, what do you know about our fusion drive? Jinha asked. It's experimental, Harin said. We're the first ship to use it. It produces massive amounts of energy, but it's very unstable. Why? What would happen if we overloaded it? Harin's eyes went wide. It would explode. A big explosion. Big enough to destroy us and anything nearby? How nearby? Maybe ... Maybe a few kilometers. But Captain, that would be suicide. Ja smiled grimly. Not if we do it right. Can you make the explosion bigger? I don't know, maybe, but it would be very dangerous. Everything is dangerous now, Jinha said. Do it. Another blast hit the ship. This time it was harder. The lights went out for a moment, then came back on. The ship was dying around them. Shields. Down to 30%, Quan reported. How long do we have? Jinha asked. Maybe 10 minutes before they destroy us, Quan said. They're playing with us like a cat with a mouse. Jinha opened ship-wide communications. All hands, this is the captain. We are under attack by alien forces. They have called us primitive. They have called us weak. They think we are nothing more than children playing with toys. He paused, thinking about Earth, about home, about the message they would send back to the galaxy. But we are not children. We are human, and humans do not surrender. We may be outgunned, but we are not outmatched. Today we show them what humanity is made of. Haran was working frantically at her station. Captain, I can overload the fusion core, but I need to get close to one of their ships. Very close. How close? Maybe 200 meters. Any closer and they'll be able to stop us. Looked at the screen. The alien ships were spread out in a perfect formation. They were being careful, staying far enough away to avoid any desperate moves. Juan, can you target their command ship? Jinha asked. The big one in the center? Yes, sir. But our weapons won't even scratch it. I don't want to scratch it. I want to ram it. Juan stared at him. Captain, that's suicide. Maybe, but it's also justice. Another blast hit them. This time the ceiling collapsed on deck 3. They could hear people screaming over the communication system. Shields down to 10%, Quan shouted. Do it now. Jinha ordered. Haran's hands moved over her controls. Fusion core overload. Initiated. We have maybe 5 minutes before it explodes. All power to engines. Jinha commanded. The Resolute Dawn suddenly shot forward. The alien ships were surprised. They had been expecting the human ship to try to run away. They had not expected it to attack. Incoming message, Quan said. The alien face appeared on the screen again. This time it looked worried. Primitive ship, you are acting foolishly. Surrender now and we will make your death quick. We have a message for you, Jinha said. And for the rest of the galaxy, what message? We are not primitives, we are human. And when you attack one of us, you attack all of us. Earth will remember this day. The alien laughed, but it sounded nervous. Earth, your pathetic little world? We will destroy it too. You can try, Jinha said, but you made one mistake. What mistake? You let us live long enough to get angry. The Resolute Dawn was racing toward the alien command ship now. The other alien ships were firing, but they were afraid to hit their own commander. It was a weakness that Jinha was using against them. 2 minutes to explosion, Haran shouted. Distance to target? Jinha asked. 500 meters, Quan replied. They're trying to move away. Not fast enough, Jinha said. The alien ship was huge. Maybe 10 times the size of the Resolute Dawn. It was covered in weapons and armor. But it was also slow. It could not turn fast enough to avoid the small human ship racing toward it. 1 minute to explosion. Haran warned. 300 meters. Quan called. The alien commander was screaming orders at his crew. Jinha could see smaller ships trying to get between them and the command ship. They were firing everything they had. Shields are gone. Quan reported. Hull damage on all decks. We're not going to make it, Haran said. The ship is falling apart. Jinha looked at his crew. They were battered and bleeding, but they were still fighting. That's what humans did. They fought until the end. Emergency power to engines. Jinha ordered. What emergency power? We've used everything. Life support, gravity, everything. Use it all. The lights went out. The air became thin. But the ship moved faster. 200 meters, Quan shouted. 30 seconds to explosion. Haran yelled. The alien command ship was trying to shoot them down. Energy beams sliced through the darkness. One hit the Resolute Dawn and tore a hole. In the side, another hit the engine section. We're not going to make it. Someone screamed, but Jinha was not giving up. Hold on. We're going to ram right through them. The Resolute Dawn hit the alien ship like a bullet. The small human ship smashed into the side of the massive alien vessel. For a moment, everything was quiet. Then the fusion core exploded. The blast was brighter than a star. It destroyed the alien command ship instantly. The shockwave hit the other alien ships. damaging or destroying several of them. When the light faded, the Resolute Dawn was gone, but so was the alien commander. And the remaining alien ships were running away, but something survived. A small escape pod drifted in the wreckage, its emergency beacon sending a signal toward Earth. Inside the pod, Jinha opened his eyes. He was hurt, but alive. So were Harin and Quan. They had made it to the escape pod in the last seconds before. The explosion. Did we get them? Quan asked weakly. We got them, Jinha said, and we sent a message. Harin looked at the wreckage around them. What message? That humanity is not to be underestimated, that we are not primitive, and that we are not weak. Jinha activated the emergency beacon. It would take months to reach Earth, but it would get there. And when it did, humanity would know what had happened here. They wanted to destroy us because we were different, Jinha said. Now they know the truth. We are different. We are human. And that makes us dangerous. The escape pod drifted through the wreckage, its beacon sending its message toward home. The first battle was over, but the war was just beginning. The emergency beacon from the escape pod reached Earth 8 months later. It was a small signal, barely strong enough to be detected. But when Earth's listening stations picked it up, everything changed. Minister Park sat in his office, reading the message that had just arrived. He read it once, then again, then a third time. His hands were shaking. Park was Jinha's older brother. He had been proud when Jinha was chosen to captain humanity's first mission to the stars. Now he was reading words that made his blood run cold. First contact was made with alien forces, the message said. They attacked without warning. They called us primitive. They tried to destroy us because we existed. The Resolute Dawn is gone. Most of the crew is dead. We fought back and won, but barely. This is not over. They will come for Earth. Park closed his eyes and thought about his brother. Jinha had always been the brave one, the one who ran toward danger while others ran away. Now he was fighting for humanity's survival in the dark between the stars. Park picked up his phone and made a call. This is Minister Park. I need an emergency meeting of the World Council. Now. 3 hours later, the most powerful people on Earth were sitting around a table in Geneva. They had all read the message. They all knew what it meant. How many of them are there? Asked the President of the Americas. We don't know, Park said. But according to the message, they have thousands of ships, maybe millions. They have weapons that can destroy planets, and they think we are insects. What do they want? Asked the Prime Minister of Europe. They want us gone, Park said. They don't care about treaties or peace. They see us as a problem to be solved. The room was quiet for a moment. Then the Chancellor of Asia spoke. What do we do? Park stood up. We do what humans have always done when someone tries to destroy us. We fight back. With what? Asked the President of Africa. Our most powerful weapons are nuclear missiles. According to this message, they have weapons that make our bombs look like firecrackers. Then we build better weapons, Park said. We build better ships. We become stronger. How long do we have? Asked the Prime Minister of Australia. Maybe a year, maybe less. The message says they will send more ships to finish what they started. The room was quiet again. Then the President of the Americas spoke. What do you need? Everything, Park said. Every resource, every scientist, every engineer. We need to build a fleet that can protect Earth. A fleet? The Chancellor of Asia looked worried. We have never built warships before. We learn. Park said, we adapt, we survive. That's what humans do. 3 days later, the message was broadcast to every person on Earth. The world watched as their leaders explained what had happened to the Resolute Dawn. They learned that humanity was not alone in the universe. They learned that they were not welcome. The reaction was immediate. Some people were afraid, some were angry, but most were determined. They were ready to fight. Dr. Harin returned to Earth 2 weeks later. She had been in the escape pod with Jinha and Quan. They had been picked up by a rescue ship and brought home. She was thin and tired, but her eyes were bright with purpose. We need to start with the fusion drive, she told the team of scientists who had been assigned to help her. It's more powerful than anything they have. We just need to make it better. The team worked in a secret facility under the Rocky Mountains. They worked 20 hours a day, sleeping in shifts. They had the best equipment that money could buy. But more importantly, they had something the aliens did not have. They had anger. Harin stood in front of a large screen, showing the team her designs. Their ships are big and slow. They rely on heavy armor and powerful weapons, but they are not fast, they are not flexible. We can use that against them. How? Asked Dr. Chun, one of the top engineers. We build small, fast ships. Many of them. They move like a swarm of bees. When the aliens try to hit one, 10 others attack them from different directions. Can we build enough ships? Asked Dr. Martinez. We have to, Harin said. The whole world is working on this. Every factory, every shipyard, every computer. We are not just building ships, we are building hope. Meanwhile, Commander Kwan was in a different facility training the first human space marines. These were not ordinary soldiers. They were volunteers from every nation, every military. They had one thing in common. They were ready to die for Earth. The aliens think we are soft, Kwan told his trainees. They think we are weak because we care about each other. They are wrong. We are strong because we care about each other. The training was hard. The recruits learned to fight in zero gravity. They learned to use weapons that had never been used before. They learned to work together as a team. But most importantly, they learned to hate. Not the simple hate of enemies, but the cold, focused hate of people who had seen their friends die. They had seen the video message from the Resolute Dawn. They had seen how the aliens treated humans. They would not forget. Captain Jinha spent his time in meetings with world leaders. He told them everything he had learned about the aliens, their weapons, their tactics, their weaknesses. They are powerful, he said, but they are also arrogant. They think they are the only ones who matter. They don't understand that humans fight differently when they are angry. What do you mean? Asked Minister Park. They fight to win, we fight to protect. When they lose, they retreat. When we lose, we get angry and fight harder. They cannot understand that. The months passed. Quickly, all over Earth, people were working. Scientists were building new weapons. Engineers were designing new ships. Soldiers were training for a war unlike any in human history. But the most important work was being done in secret. Deep under the Sahara Desert, a team of engineers was building something that had never been built before. It was based on Harin's most dangerous idea. If we can make a fusion drive explode like a bomb, she had said, then we can make it explode like a bigger bomb. Much bigger, the project was called Prometheus. It was a weapon that could destroy entire fleets. But it was also a weapon that could destroy the people who used it. It's a suicide weapon, one of the engineers said. Maybe, Harin said. But it's also a weapon that will make them afraid. And when they are afraid, they will make mistakes. 10 months after the first message from the Resolute Dawn, the first ships from the new Earth fleet were ready. They were small and fast, with armor that could bend light and weapons that could cut through anything. They were powered by fusion drives that could go faster than anything the aliens had. But most importantly, they were crewed by humans who were very, very angry. Jinha stood on the bridge of the new flagship, the Defiant. It was 10 times more powerful than the Resolute Dawn, but it was also something more. It was a promise. Captain, said the communications officer, we're getting a signal from the outer system. Multiple ships, big ones. Jinha looked at the screen. 20 alien ships were approaching Earth. They were the same size as the ones that had attacked the Resolute Dawn, but there were more of them. They have come to finish what they started, Jinha said. But we are not the same species they attacked before. We are ready. He opened communications to the entire fleet. This is Captain Jinha. They think we are the same weak humans they attacked before. They are wrong. We are something new. Something they created when they decided to murder our friends. The alien ships were getting closer. On the surface of Earth, people were watching the sky. Children were holding their parents' hands. Old people were remembering other wars, other battles. Today we show them what humanity can become, Jinha said. Today we make them regret they ever heard of Earth. The alien fleet was close now. Soon the second battle would begin. But this time humanity was ready. This time they would not be the ones running away. The alien fleet reached Earth's outer system exactly 10 months after the first attack. 20 massive ships, each one the size of a city, moved toward humanity's homeworld like metal vultures. Admiral Veltar stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Dominion. He was the same alien who had ordered the attack on the Resolute Dawn. He had come to Earth to finish what he started. "Status report," Veltar ordered. "We are detecting multiple ships in orbit around their planet," his tactical officer reported. "Maybe 50 of them. They are much smaller than before." Veltar laughed. 50 tiny ships? The primitives think they can fight us with toys. Sir, the energy readings are strange. These ships are different from the one we destroyed. Different? How? Faster, more advanced. Sir, I think they have been preparing for us. Veltar's 6 eyes narrowed. It does not matter. We have 20 ships. They have 50. We have planet-killer weapons. They have nothing. But Veltar was wrong. In the space around Earth, Jinha was watching the alien fleet approach. The bridge of the Defiant was quiet and tense. Everyone knew what was coming. "Captain," said Haran from her new position as Chief Science Officer, "their ships are exactly what we expected. Big, slow, heavily armed. They are maintaining tight formation." Perfect," Jinha said. "They are fighting the last war." "We are fighting this one." Quan was at the tactical station. "All ships report ready, Captain. The Marines are standing by." Jinha opened the channel to the alien fleet. "This is Captain Jinha of the Earth Defense Force. You are not welcome here. Leave now or face the consequences." The reply came quickly. Veltar's face appeared on the screen, his expression full of contempt. "Captain Jinha, I remember you. You are the primitive who destroyed my command ship. I have come to return the favor. You started this war," Jinha said. "We are going to finish it." "With what? Your tiny ships? Your primitive weapons?" "I have 20 vessels, each one capable of destroying your entire fleet." Jinha smiled. It was not a nice smile. "You made the same mistake before. You underestimated us. We hoped you would do it again." "Enough talk," Veltar said. "Surrender now and I will make your death quick." "We have a counteroffer," Jinha said. "Leave now and we will let some of you live." Veltar's laugh was like breaking glass. "You cannot be serious." "We are very serious. You see, we have been busy since you murdered our friends. We have been learning. We have been building. We have been getting angry." "I am done listening to primitive boasts," Veltar said. "All ships, open fire, destroy them all." The alien fleet opened fire with everything they had. Energy beams lanced through space, bright enough to blind. But when the light faded, the human ships were gone. What happened? Veltar shouted. "Where are they?" "Unknown, sir," his tactical officer said. "They just vanished. Ships do not just vanish. Find them." But the human ships had not vanished. They had moved. Haran's new engines could make ships move faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. The entire human fleet had scattered in different directions, too fast for the alien weapons to track. "Now," Jinha said quietly, the human ships attacked from all directions at once. They moved like angry wasps darting in and out of the alien formation. Their weapons were smaller than the alien guns, but they were precise. They targeted weak points, engine sections, weapon systems. "We are taking damage?" Veltar's tactical officer reported. "Multiple hull breaches on ships 7, 12, and 15. "How is this possible?" Veltar demanded. "They are primitives." But the humans were not fighting like primitives. They were fighting like humans. They used tactics the aliens had never seen before. They worked together like a pack of wolves, coordinating their attacks perfectly. One human ship would distract an alien vessel while 2 others attacked from behind. When the aliens tried to focus their fire, The human ships would disappear and reappear somewhere else. "Sir, we have lost 3 ships," the tactical officer reported. "The primitives are destroying us. Impossible. Focus all fire on their command ship." But the aliens could not tell which ship was the command ship. All the human vessels looked the same. They all moved the same way. They all fought with the same deadly skill. Jinha watched the battle from his bridge. His ships were winning, but he knew this was just the beginning. The aliens had more fleets, more weapons, more ships. This victory would only make them angrier. "Quan, launch the boarding parties," Jinha ordered. "Sir?" Quan looked surprised. "We are winning." "Why?" "Board their ships?" "Because we need to send a message. A message that will spread across the galaxy." Small pods launched from the human ships. They were too small for the alien weapons to hit, and they moved too fast to be stopped. They attached to the alien ships like metal ticks. Then Quan's Marines went to work. The aliens had never fought humans in close combat before. They had never seen what happens when angry humans get inside your ship. The Marines moved through the alien vessels like a plague, capturing control rooms, destroying critical systems. But more importantly, they left messages. On every ship they captured, the Marines painted the same words on the walls: "Earth remembers, Earth is coming, Earth will have justice." Veltar watched in horror as his fleet was destroyed around him. Half his ships were gone. The other half were crippled or captured. This was not how the battle was supposed to go. "Sir," his communications officer said, "incoming message from the primitive fleet." "Put it through," Veltar said. Jinha's face appeared on the screen. Behind him, Veltar could see the bridge of a human ship. It was small and cramped compared to alien vessels, but it was efficient, deadly. "Admiral Veltar," Jinha said, "you came here to destroy us. Instead, you have given us a gift." "What gift?" "You have shown us what we are capable of. You have shown us that we are not primitive, we are not weak. We are human." "This changes nothing," Veltar shouted. "We will send more ships. We will send 1,000 ships." "Good," Jinha said. "Send them all. We will be waiting." "You cannot fight the entire galaxy? Watch us." The transmission ended. Veltar stared at the screen, his 6 eyes wide with shock. Around him, his bridge crew was silent. They had never seen their admiral defeated before. "Sir," the tactical officer said quietly, "what are your orders?" "Retreat," Veltar said. "Signal the surviving ships." "We retreat." "Sir, the Council will not be pleased." "The Council does not understand," Veltar said. "These are not the same primitives we attacked before. They have become something else. Something dangerous." The alien ships that could still move began to retreat. They left behind wreckage, captured vessels, and something else. They left behind fear. Jinha stood on his bridge watching the alien fleet run away. Around him, his crew was celebrating. They had won their first real battle. But Jinha was not celebrating. He was thinking about the future. The aliens would be back. They would bring more ships, more weapons, more anger. The war was just beginning. "Harin," he said, "prepare the Prometheus weapon. If they want to escalate this war, we will be ready." "Sir, the Prometheus weapon is not tested. It could destroy us too." "Better to die fighting than to live as slaves," Jinha said. "Send a message to Earth. Tell them we won the first battle. Tell them to prepare for the next one." He looked out at the stars, thinking about the future. The aliens had made a mistake when they attacked the Resolute Dawn. They had awakened something that should have been left sleeping. They had awakened humanity's wrath. And now, the entire galaxy would learn what that meant. The message reached the Galactic Council 3 days after Admiral Veltar's defeat. The Great Hall was filled with angry voices. Leaders from across the galaxy had gathered to discuss the primitive problem. "This is impossible," said Counselor Thrix, his tentacles waving in anger. 20 ships destroyed by savages with stolen technology. "Not stolen," corrected War Minister Gorth. "Our intelligence says they built it themselves." Somehow, the council leader, an ancient being with skin like polished stone, raised his hand for silence. It does not matter how they did it. What matters is that they did it. And now other species are watching. What do you mean? Asked Counselor Thrix. 3 star systems have stopped paying tribute. 2 colonies have declared independence. Word is spreading that the mighty Galactic Council was defeated by primitives. The room went quiet. This was worse than losing ships. This was losing control. We cannot allow this to continue, the council leader said. We must make an example of Earth, a terrible example. How terrible? Asked War Minister Gorth. Complete destruction, not just their ships, not just their cities, everything. We will turn their planet into space dust. We will make sure no one ever forgets what happens when you defy us. The vote was quick. Every member of the council agreed. Earth would die. On Earth, the spy satellites detected the new fleet while it was still 3 weeks away. The images that came back made even the bravest humans feel cold with fear. 1,000 ships, each one the size of a mountain, each one carrying enough weapons to destroy a continent. Minister Park stood before the emergency session of the World Council. His face was pale, but his voice was steady. They are not coming to conquer us. They are coming to erase us from existence. How many ships can we build in 3 weeks? Asked the President of the Americas. 50 more. Maybe 60 if we work? Day and night. So we will have 100 ships against 1,000? 112, Park corrected. But yes. The Chancellor of Asia leaned forward. What about evacuation? Can we move people to other planets? Where? Park asked. They will follow us wherever we go. This is not about defeating us. This is about making sure we never existed. The President of Africa spoke up. Then we fight. Here, on Earth, our home. We will probably lose, Park warned. This could be the end of humanity. Maybe, the President said, but we will make them pay for it. We will make them remember the price of destroying Earth. The decision was made. Humanity would make their last stand at home. In space. Captain Jinha stood on the bridge of the Defiant, watching the massive alien fleet approach. It looked like a metal storm cloud, blocking out the stars. Each ship was 10 times larger than anything they had faced before. Captain, Harin said from her station, the Prometheus weapon is ready. But remember, it is untested. We do not know exactly what will happen. What do you think will happen? It should create an explosion large, enough to destroy everything within 50 kilometers. But the energy release is so massive that it might tear a hole in space itself. Jinha nodded. And us? We will be at the center of the explosion. We will not survive. Commander Quan looked up from his station. All ships report ready, Captain. But sir, we are badly outnumbered. Even with our new tactics, we cannot win. This fight. Jinha looked at his crew. They were scared, but they were still at their posts. They were ready to die for Earth. Maybe we cannot win, Jinha said. But we can make them regret coming here. The alien fleet was close now. The lead ship was massive, covered in weapons that could destroy cities. From its bridge, Admiral Korvax looked down at the small human fleet with contempt. Primitive creatures, he said to his officers. They think their tiny ships can stop us. Sir, his tactical officer reported, they are not running. They are forming a battle line. Foolish. They will die quickly. Admiral Korvax opened a channel to the human fleet. His face appeared on screens throughout the Earth Defense Force. Creatures of Earth, he said, his voice cold as ice. You have defied the Galactic Council. You have destroyed our ships. You have committed acts of war against civilized species. The sentence is death. Jinha stepped forward. We only wanted peace. You attacked us first. You forced us to become warriors. What you have become is irrelevant. What you will become is extinct. This is your last chance to surrender. We have a counteroffer, Jinha said. Leave our system now and we will let some of you love, Admiral Korvax laughed. You are outnumbered 10-1. You have no chance of victory. We do not need to win, Jinha said. We only need to make you bleed. The alien fleet opened fire. The darkness of space was filled with energy beams, each one capable of destroying a human ship. The human fleet scattered, using their speed and agility to avoid the worst of the attack, but there were too many aliens. For every shot the humans avoided, 10 more took its place. The human ships fought with desperate courage, but they were being destroyed one by one. "We have lost 20 ships," Quan reported. "The aliens have lost only 3. "Time to use the secret weapon," Jinha said. Harin looked at him. "Sir, to use the Prometheus weapon, we need to get into the center of their fleet. It will be a suicide mission. I know. I should be the one to do it. I designed the weapon. I know how to activate it. You are too valuable to lose." "We are all valuable, but this is what needs to be done." Jinha looked around his bridge. His crew was watching him, waiting for his decision. These people had followed him across the galaxy. They had trusted him with their lives. "I will go with you." Quan said. "So will I," said the weapons officer. "And me," said the pilot. One by one, every person on the bridge volunteered. They were all ready to die for Earth. Jinha felt his eyes fill with tears. "I am honored to serve with you all." The Defiant changed course, heading straight for the center of the alien fleet. The other human ships formed a protective wall around it, sacrificing themselves to clear a path. "Incoming message," the communications officer reported. Admiral Korvax appeared on the screen. "You are flying to your death. Surrender now, and I will make it quick." "We have a message for you," Jinha said, "and for the rest of the galaxy." "What message?" Jinha stood up straight. "We are human. We do not surrender. We do not bow. We do not beg. And when you destroy us, others will remember what we did here. They will remember that Earth refused to die quietly." The Defiant was deep in the alien fleet now. Thousands of enemy ships surrounded them, firing from all directions. The human ship was being torn apart, but it kept moving forward. Jinha opened a channel to Earth. "This is Captain Jinha. We are about to die. But we are not dying in vain. We are dying to prove that humanity will not be erased from history." He looked into the camera, thinking of his wife, his children, his brother on Earth. "To those who come after us, remember this day. Remember that we were not perfect. We were not the strongest. But we were human, and humans do not give up." The alien ships were closing in. The Defiant was falling apart around them. Prometheus. "Weapon ready," Harin announced. "For Earth," Jinha shouted. "For Earth." His crew shouted back. Harin pressed the button. The explosion was like the birth of a new sun. It consumed everything within 50 kilometers, destroying 600 alien ships in a single instant. The shockwave rippled outward, crippling or destroying most of the rest. On Earth, people looked up at the sky and saw a new star blazing in the darkness. It was beautiful and terrible, a funeral pyre for heroes. The surviving alien ships, less than 50 out of the original 1,000, fled in terror. They had never seen such destruction. They had never imagined that any species would sacrifice themselves so completely. Admiral Korvax, wounded but alive, sent a message back to the Galactic Council. "The humans are not primitive. They are not weak. They are the most dangerous species in the galaxy. We must never fight them again." On Earth, Minister Park stood in his office, reading the reports. The alien fleet was gone. The immediate threat was over. But he knew this was not the end. New ships were being built. New weapons were being created. The human fleet was growing stronger every day, and across the galaxy, other species were watching. They had seen what humanity was capable of. They had seen what happened when you pushed humans too far. Some were afraid, some were impressed. Some were inspired to fight their own oppressors, but all of them remembered the name of the species that had refused to die quietly. Earth was no longer a forgotten world. Humanity was no longer a primitive species. They were the ones who had unleashed wrath upon the galaxy. And the galaxy would never forget.